Hey guys, Mary from SVG Cuts here. I just finished putting together my second Magnolia Manor, and it's a lot of fun. I'm about to show you here in just a minute in this video, step by step, how I put it together for the second time. So my first one was mostly white with the pink, kind of a Valentine's looking theme. For this one I used ivory paper with black and some really pretty Easter paper from Authentique from last year. So I'm really loving the way that it came out both times. I think it's going to be so much fun to make for Christmas and for Halloween, maybe even a patriotic theme for summer. So the way that I lit this up was I have a string of lights that plugs into the wall. I got it on Amazon. It's the LED lights that are on a wire, and I just coiled it up and just kind of shoved it in there and plugged it in. You could, of course, also use battery-powered lights or little tea light candles, but of course, you know, the batteries are going to wear out. So for that reason, I just wanted to make this nice and bright since it's kind of tall too. So that's what I did there. So the paper that I used this time is from Carta Bella, the patterned paper. There's not too much of it, but it's really pretty, and that was a lot of fun to use. Really, really pretty paper. So I've got all my pieces already put together actually, but if you've got yours cut out or you just want to see how it goes together, let's get started. So first of all, I wanted to lay out the pieces that you see in the PDF document, the menu, in the layout section. So that starts on page 7, and it's the pages that look like this that show the large wall pieces of the house with a lot of the panels on them. And these red, outline red shapes is kind of like x-ray vision back to the back side where the vellum pieces are going to go. So these pages 7 through 10 or 7 through 11 show you the main parts, where they go, how there's vellum back here. So for all of these, you can go ahead and glue your vellum into place, and you can glue your siding into place, being careful to line it up the way that I show in the PDF menu. And then I went ahead and glued my flat window frames into place. And this is on piece number 1. So your machine will have cut some numbers into your pieces. Some of them have a circle with the number, some of them have an X with the number, and so forth. So this also has a roof panel piece, and I went ahead and embossed that with my embossing folder. And you can also go ahead and glue this little roof panel piece into place. The piece number 1 with the X, I put the panel on that with the vellum on the back side. And then these pieces have a triangle cut out of them just to let you know that they're going to go with this piece. This is number 9 with an X, with 2 siding pieces and 2 vellum windows in the back side. So again, you can see how that's all laid out in page number 7 of your layout. So on the next page, it's page number 8, and you can see there are 3 windows that are going into these pieces and how they're laid out just like the last one. So those windows are made up of this flat front piece, the little vellum in the back, some little trim, and this piece. So there are 4 total of them, and I'll put one together here in just a minute. It's going to end up looking just like this. So the front of this flat part is folded towards you, and you can go ahead and put some glue on the back side of it and glue your vellum right into place on the back of it. Then you can take your little skinny arched trim piece and put some glue on it. And I rubbed in an ink pad on the bottom of it just to kind of accentuate it a little bit on the window. Same with this little rectangle which goes on the bottom of it. So if you want to put all 4 of those together like this right now, you can. And I'm going to put the side into place like so. And as you can see, these tabs back here are folded towards me, which people call a valley fold. So I carefully glued down one side. Now I'm going to put a dot of glue on each of these little triangular shaped tabs, as well as down here. And I'm going to fold the side over and glue that side, the other side down to kind of anchor it, and then the little teeth shaped tabs kind of fall right into place. So as you can see, I've got 2 and 3 with circles cut out of the side, and by that I'm talking about here, just to signify what they are, even though it's pretty clear. And then I went ahead and glued my roof panels into place, as well as my siding roof panel on the 2X with these 2 windows. And then for the 3X piece, I've got the siding, roof panel, and the vellum on the back side. So you can go ahead and do that. And then let's go ahead and put our windows in place also. So as you can see, I'm putting some glue around all of these tabs, all the way around, and then I just want to feed it right through the window opening. And I'm just squeezing it together into place so that all of those tabs are making contact, and it's kind of starting to curve my roof a little bit, which is kind of exciting. So go ahead and put these 2 windows in just like I did this one. Next, on page number 9, I've got these 2 pieces which just have double X and double X cut out of them. I went ahead and glued my siding in place, as well as these 2 pieces of vellum and this small square, as well as vellum back here and my panel in place there. So I put together half of my door, and to do that, all you want to do is put some glue on the back side of the skinnier looking piece and just glue that right on the front. And then I did rub a brown ink pad very carefully around the edges of this tiny little rectangle, which goes right in the center down there. So I'll go ahead and glue down my little door trim, and the top corner of it just goes up flush with the top corner of this piece here. And then I can glue my doors side by side right in this little opening here. Next, I've got pieces 4, 5, and 6 with the circles, and 4, 5, and 6 with the X's. I went ahead and glued my siding panels into place, as well as these lower panels down here, and just the rest of the roof trim. So these are still loose. I'm going to go ahead and glue these down into place also. So last but not least, on the final page 11 here of the layout, I've got number 7 here with the window, which I put together earlier. And you want to go ahead and put that in the same exact way that you did the other windows. And then I also have my panels in place on 7 with the X and 8 with the X, as well as the vellum on the back, the larger piece, and the next smallest large piece back here. And then these lower panels, as well as this window frame here and this window frame here. And this window is a tiny bit smaller than this window. Next, for our windows, I've got 11 of them, which look like this. And as you can see, I folded them. I folded this one. It's going to go like this, and these little sides are going to get glued down. So you want to do this for all 11, oops, too much glue, for all 11 window frames. So what I'm doing is putting a little glue on these little triangles, and then folding it over, folding this little square down, and making sure it's pretty even. So you want to hold that as it's drying a little bit more, and then put some glue on these 2, and then lay it flat, and that fold line kind of goes right in the center of this strip that's in the middle. So there's your window. So go ahead and make all 11 of them, as well as this larger one, which is going to go around the front door. Next, I'm going to take these pieces that have the X's, so 1, 2, 3, the double X, the other double X, and I'm going to skip the 4, 5, and 6 because they don't have windows, 7, 8, and 9, and that's where my windows are going to go. So I'm going to, every time there's this shape of a rectangle opening, I'm going to glue the window frames that I just made right down, and there should be 11 of them, 11 openings and 11 window frames. So you just want to center that right on your wall, and go ahead and do that for all of these pieces. This one, 2 here, 1 here, 2 here, 1 there. Next, you can go ahead and glue down your door frame that we just made onto the door, just like we did with the windows, with some glue on the back of it, and then gluing it right around the front door. Next, we can glue together these pieces here with the circle cut out of the tab, and they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So this is going to be folded this way, and then these tabs get folded towards you with some glue on each one, and then glue piece number 2 right onto piece number 1. So to do that, I'll just glue the first tab, give it a chance to take hold, and then work my way down, gluing all 4 tabs into place. Then I'll do the same thing on the side tabs of this piece, except they're folded away from me as a mountain fold as opposed to a valley fold. And by that I just mean that it's folded like this. It's not folded the opposite way. So again, I'm just working my way down the side of tabs one at a time. Now I'll do the same thing on this side with some glue on each of those tabs, and I'll glue piece number 4 right onto piece number 3, 1 tab at a time. Next, I'm going to fold these tabs here on piece number 4 into a valley fold, which means they're folded towards me. And again, I'll put some glue on all 4 of these and glue piece number 5 on, 1 tab at a time. Now I'll put some glue on these tabs and glue piece number 6 right onto piece number 5 here. The same way, just lining up the first tab, giving it a chance to take hold, and working my way down. And then once again, glue on all of these tabs and glue piece number 7 on. Now I'm going to fold these tabs on piece number 7 towards me, put some glue on them, and then I'll close it up. First, I'm going to take this piece here with the 9 with the X above it. It's got a little triangle cut out. And then I've got this piece with the triangle and this smaller one. They're going to go together this way. So first, I'm going to put some glue on this bottom tab here. And I'm going to tuck this right underneath just like that. And then I'm going to fold it this way and put some glue on this little tab here. And that's going to go right up underneath its neighbor. And then I can put some glue on the next one here and glue that right to its neighbor. Then I can put some glue on the next little triangular shaped tab. And glue that to its neighbor too. And finally, I can put some glue on this last tab and glue that down. Next, I'm going to put some glue on this side tab and glue this one with the X above it right onto it. And then I can take this little piece with the triangle cut out of it and I'm going to glue it onto the side, starting at the bottom, just like this. And then some glue on the next little triangular shaped tab and glue that right on. And working my way up to the next tab, gluing that into place. And then some glue on the next two tabs and gluing those right into place in a nice straight little line. Next, I can put some glue on this side tab and take the next piece, which is 2 with the X, and glue that right onto that tab. And then some glue on the next tab and fold that around and glue that down. Then next I'll put some glue on the next 2 tabs. Or you can go one at a time if you'd like. And glue those into place like this. Then the final 2 tabs can get glued down. I'm putting some glue on them from the inside. And gluing them right onto their neighbor there. Next I'm going to glue 3 with the X onto 2 with the X. So I'll just put some glue on the side here. And get this glued down nicely. And then I'll work my way down this row of tabs, gluing them down. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on all of the remaining 4 tabs here. If you are more comfortable going one at a time, you can. And I'll just glue those down right into place. Next I'm going to glue 4, 5, and 6 together in the same type of way that I did the last ones, except on piece number 4, this whole side of tabs gets folded towards you. And for each of these, you want it to be folded like this. So underneath this real skinny part that's folded towards you for all the pieces, as well as like this up at the top. So I'll go ahead and put some glue on these side tabs and glue number 5 onto number 4. Then I'll put some glue on the side tabs on piece number 5 and glue on piece number 6. And next I'm going to glue pieces 7 and 8 together, and you can put glue on them all at once. If you want to be even more careful, you can do them one at a time. Either way, but again, as you can see, it's folded like this, with it being a valley fold underneath that skinny part, as well as up here and up here. So I'm just going to work my way down the line of tabs. Putting some glue from the inside on each one and gluing them right into place. I'm going to skip this little tiny triangle tab there and do that one at the end so that I can do this larger one next to kind of anchor my pieces together, which will make it easier to glue that little small triangle tab into place above it. So I'll just close that up with a dot of glue. And with some glue on the final tab at the bottom, I'll finish that part up there. Now I can go ahead and glue these two sections together just the same way that I did before. I'm going to go ahead and go one at a time and anchor each piece into place together as I work my way down. So I'll put some glue on the next tab from the inside. And line it up nicely, giving it a chance to dry. And then I'll go ahead and anchor this large tab in place with some glue. Then I'll go back and glue the others from the inside into place. Next, I'm going to take this piece here, the 3X, and the back here that has the hole in the bottom, and they're going to go together with these on this seam here. So I'm going to start with some glue on this little tab and anchor it together like so. I'm going to give it a nice amount of time to dry and take hold, and then I'll work my way up the rest of the seam. Next, I'm going to put some glue on this tab here and anchor that into place. Then I'll put some glue on this side tab here with the 3X on it and glue that into place. And then on the remaining small tabs, I'm going to go in from the inside, put some glue on them, and glue them into place. Next, with my house kind of flipped around over here, I'm going to put some glue on this tab with the X on it, and it's folded towards me as a valley fold, and I'll just glue that right onto this wall here. Then I'll work my way down to the next tab, glue that into place, and I'll work my way down to the next one. This next tab goes in like this, and you'll want to hold it for a few extra seconds as it dries to make sure it's taking hold. And then from the inside on these remaining 3 tabs, I'll put some glue and glue them into place. Next, I'm going to take this front piece here with the two X's and the front door on it, and I'm going to glue that right to this piece here using this tab. So I'll put some glue on it and carefully line it up and glue this right onto it there. Then I also want to fold the top of this piece towards myself here, up at the top above the front door. We want that tab folded towards you. And then for this final double X piece here, we also want this folded towards you. And then I'm going to glue it right to the side here, just like that. Then I can put some glue on this side tab here with the two X's and glue that down right here. Next, I'm going to flip my house like this so that you can see these parts here. And on these tabs, I'm going to put glue on these, this one down here, as well as this little one and these two. So we're going to do this all at the same time. We're going to put glue on all of those, and we're going to be gluing this piece that looks like this. It's just a solid piece that looks like this. We're going to be gluing that into place right on top of these tabs that I just pointed out. So it would be nice if we could do them, kind of do the tabs one at a time, but since it'll be a little tough to get in there once one of them is in place, we're going to have to kind of do it in one fell swoop. So I'm going to go ahead and put glue on those tabs going all the way out to the corners and getting a nice amount of glue all over them. So this outer one, this inner one, this inner one. And again, my house is upside down, as you can see. And I'm putting glue on all of these tabs. So this is like the ceiling of the porch that I'm about to glue into place. Okay, so I'm going to concentrate first on the outside, and then I can reach in and get those two from the inside once everything else is kind of in place. So I want to make sure my corners are lined up nicely and tuck it right in there. I did a good job on this side, getting it in the right spot, and now I want it in the right spot on this side also. So I'm going to line up these two front corners, and I can reach in from the inside to press those together. I'm going to line up this front part here, and then it's the most visible, so I really want it to line up nicely. Once it's taking hold in the right place, then I can breathe a little sigh of relief and get this inner tab down underneath from the inside glued down, as well as over here on this side. Next, I'm going to put together my porch bottom, like where the stairs are. It's made up of these pieces that have this little pill-shaped shape cut out of them. That's just to signify that they go together. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, they also have that little pill shape cut out of them as well. So we might as well start with piece number 1 here. And I'm going to create the stairs first with some glue on each of these tabs. And as you can see, I went ahead and glued my little stair trim onto the front, and this is how you want it to be folded. So then I'll just guide these into place so that they line up. Pretty easy peasy. And then I'll just do the same thing on the other side of the stairs. So next I'll fold this tab into a valley fold towards myself. put some glue on it, and then I'll put piece number 2 right here. Then I'll put some glue on the side tab of number 2 and fold that down. And this part next to the stairs here, we want that to be a valley fold right here too. And then it will go around like this. And with some glue on here, we'll put piece number 4. Then you want to fold piece number 4, the tab on 4, as a valley fold, and glue piece number 5 into place. Then we can put glue on number 5 there and close it up. And our porch is taking shape and looks like this. Now I can glue the top part into place, and basically all I'm doing is just gluing this right onto the top of what I've created here. So I'll start by anchoring this into place, as well as these sides. And I'll work my way around, gluing each tab into place, nice and straight. Now I'll get some glue on this long one, this little one, as well as the sides here. Might as well go ahead and put it the rest of the way around. Or if you'd like to go slower and do one at a time, you can. But it's kind of fallen into place a little bit, so it's easier to kind of just do it all at once. As long as you're careful to line up everything so the edges are nice and straight, and so that these little cutouts for where the columns are going to go, that's where what these little square cutout shapes are. As long as these line up nicely and it's a nice little square, so we can put our columns inside in a little bit. Then of course you can flip it over and press down from the inside to make sure that everything is taking hold the way it's supposed to be. Next we can go ahead and cover all these tabs here with glue, and then place this right into place like so. Next you can take your little doormat and put some glue on the back of it and center it right here. I think it's cute if you leave a little bit of space in front of it and just center it right there. Then we're going to put together all of our columns. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they look like this. And to put them together, you just want to put some glue on this side tab and fold it over, and then glue these little triangular shaped tabs, put glue on them and fold that over on both sides. Once you've got all 8 columns created, you can put a dot of glue on either side of them, one at a time, and carefully wiggle them into place so that they're nice and straight, standing up nice and straight. Next we can go ahead and glue our porch panels into place, and they're going to go like this. This little small one and this go together on this side, and then this one goes here. Then there are 2 that are the exact same size. They're going to go here on the front, and then back here is this guy, and then this longer guy, and then this little small guy right on the back. Next I've got my large roof pieces, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I've got the panels for them right here too. So piece number 1 is a little bit taller than piece number 3, so the taller of these two goes on it. If you just hold it up and take a look, you can see these are also slightly different. These two shapes are slightly different to fit just right. So if you hold it up, you can see if you've got the right one in the right place. So go ahead and glue these onto your roof pieces. Next, we can glue these together side to side in order. So to do that, we will just put some glue on this long tab on piece number 1 and glue piece number 2 right onto it. And then glue the second tab on it down. Then you're just going to do the same thing for the other 2 pieces. So I'll go ahead and close it up with some glue on this final side tab. Glue that down. And glue this little small tab underneath it down as well. Then you can put some glue on these little tabs here. And with it sitting nice and straight, you can fold that over into place at the top. Next, for the top of the tower, I've got these pieces laid out, and as you can see, they're numbered 1 through 4, and there's a circle in like a different spot on each one of these. That's to let you know how to line this up. So this little cutout lines up there, this one lines up here, this is here, and this one is here. So you want to glue those together with this bottom part folded towards you. Put some glue on it and glue that right on top, and go ahead and do that for all 4 segments. Next, we can glue these together side to side, 1 tab at a time. So to do that, I'm going to put glue on all of these tabs on piece number 1, and then carefully glue it 1 tab at a time to piece number 2, following this little curved edge here as soon as that first one really takes hold. And just working my way up the seam there. Lining it up as nicely as I can. So go ahead and put the other 2 pieces on just like that in the same way. So I've got all 4 sides together, and I can go ahead and glue these into place. And all 4 of these are the same size, so you can just glue them right in the center of the top like this, as well as all 3 that look like this can go right centered, except for obviously this one has the arch in it, so you can use this one. So go ahead and glue those down. So here's my tower sections together, and next you can put some glue on these 3 tabs and fold the top over. Next, I would like to glue these 2 together, and this one is folded like this at the back. These are folded towards you, and everything else is a regular fold, except for here and here. It's also a valley fold, so you want it to be shaped like this basically. But first we'll just glue 1 part at a time. So I'm going to put glue on this tab here and carefully glue together nicely right here. Then I'm going to jump across to the opposite side and glue this tab down also. Next, I'm going to put some glue on these two tabs here and fold them over and hold them as they dry. Then I'm going to put a dot of glue on each of these tabs and fold them over to connect these areas. Next, we can take this piece, which looks like this, and glue it onto the front here, starting on the side. So I will put some glue on it here. And also over here. Then for the second row of tabs here, not these, but these down here, I will just bend each one forward and put a dot of glue on it and glue them into place. Then I'm going to put some glue on this side tab here, bend it under, hold that as it dries, and then do the same thing over here with this similar tab. Next, I'm going to take the back side of this and fold these tabs like this, and then fold them back in, because these are going to eventually go off to the side. Then this piece is going to fit right into this space here, and then from the other side you can see where the tabs are going to go. So it goes like this. This short tab, long tab, shorter tab gets glued to the flat underside of the roof. Then these side ones bend over and get glued down to kind of seal off the corners. So let's start by putting some glue on this little tab. And this goes right up inside like this, right here. Then we can put some glue on the other one on the other side. And glue that down. Then I can glue this longer tab down. Then I can glue these side tabs over. Next, I'm going to take the piece that looks like this, and I want to fold all of these away from myself, so valley fold all the way around. And then we're also going to be using this little rectangle soon too, which is going to fit right up here. So what we want to do is basically just glue this to this, like so. So I'm going to carefully start putting it together. So first I'm going to anchor just one side. Then I'm going to go ahead and put glue on the rest of these tabs, getting pretty close to those corners so that it takes hold nicely. And fold this over and line it up carefully, squeezing it from the inside and the outside. Then we can go ahead and put some glue on these tabs under here, as well as these little small tabs. And then we can take this little rectangle piece and fit it right here. Holding it for a little extra time as it dries, and if you can, squeezing it from the inside and the outside. Next, we're going to glue the roof to this piece, which we've already created, using these tabs here. So this one will get glued inside here and so forth all the way around, just working your way around one at a time. And up here at the very front, it's not actually glued together on this part here. It just fits together nicely everywhere else. So I'm going to put some glue on this tab. And get started. So I will just carefully line that up so that the whole length of that tab is going the whole length of that wall underneath it, and squeeze it together as it's drying. So next I'll just do the same thing on the next segment. Line it up nicely and squeeze it together from the inside and outside as it's drying. Same thing with the next part, and so on, just working my way around the house. So I've got all the tabs glued down, just putting the final one in place from the inside, and it's really starting to come together, which is pretty exciting. Next, I'm going to put together a kind of like a middle layer that's going to connect the top floor to the rest of the house. So I've got 4 pieces that look like this with the numbers here on the bottom and a little circle cut out above it. Those are going to be the sides of it. The top and bottom of it are going to be these pieces, and then these are going to be an interior thing. So it's got a 2 with a little notch, and it's got a 1 with a little notch. So we'll set those aside, and we'll put together our sides first. So I'm just going to glue 1, 2, 3, and 4 together with the circles, side to side, using their side tabs. So first I'm going to glue on, okay, I've got the sides laid out here, and this is the top. The numbers are on the other side, that's the bottom. This is the back of the house, here's the front of the house with the tower. So there's two pieces that look like this, and they look kind of similar, but one's a little bit bigger. It also has a T cut out of it. That is the top, so this is what you want to glue on here. So I'm going to anchor it in place on one tab, and then I'll just work my way around one tab at a time, gluing this right on top of these sides. So here's my top glued to my sides, and now I'm going to take these two notch pieces, and I did down the side, I did all valley folds, so it's folded towards me. And then I'm going to wrap it around, glue it together. And then with the number on the bottom, I'm going to glue it like this. So my one's up here. It's a square, so you can turn it around, but you don't want the number down here. You want the number flipped up towards you. And then we'll glue this inside. And this part's not going to be very visible at all, so if you feel like it's not perfect enough, it's okay. And then we'll do the same thing with this second piece. It's folded valley fold down the edges, glue the side tab down, and then with the number up, we'll glue it down on the other square cutout area. So I've got glue on these tabs. Again, here's my 2. You could turn it anyway, but you want that 2 up towards you. And glue that down into place. Then we can cover all of these tabs with glue and put our bottom of the whole thing into place. Next, we can take this top part of our house and cover the bottom of it with glue, going all the way out to the corners on all of these tabs. And then with the top of it up, that's with the T on there that your machine will have cut, we just want to very carefully center this right on top. So you want to take a little peek around, make sure that it's nice and centered, and as it starts to take hold, if you've got any excess glue coming out that you want to get off, you can do that. But you really want to hold on to it for a little bit of extra time as it dries, because it kind of wants to not sit flat and behave itself if you don't hold it down while it's drying. Next, I'm going to create the base of my house, which is made up of these two large pieces and then these sides, and each side has a tab that ends in a little point. That's how you know these are the sides of the base. So I'm going to start just by gluing them together side to side, 1 through 6. So here are my sides glued together, and I'm going to take the one that doesn't have the shapes cut out of it. This is the top, the plain one, and I'm going to carefully glue this to these sides just like this. So you can see that the front of it at the bottom has this with the circle cut out. This is up here, this is the back of the house, this is the front where the tower comes up. So we want to glue this top onto here just using all of these tabs. So I'm going to start by anchoring one of them, anchoring one of the tabs in place, and then carefully working my way around, gluing all of the tabs to this top piece. So I'll just work my way around, putting some glue on one tab at a time, lining it up, flipping it over, keeping it nicely aligned, and working my way around. So here are my sides glued to my top. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to glue some support inside of it. So I have two pieces that look like this, and they are designated with this star here, and then there's this piece too. So I'm going to just start by putting glue on that side tab, gluing that together. and then covering one side of it with glue. It doesn't have to be pretty as long as it sits flat, and glue that square with the star onto it. And again, it just has stars to signify that those pieces go together. So I went ahead and made both of them like this, and there's also 4 more that go together the same way, except they're a little bit smaller, and one of them has the square already attached to it. So go ahead and make your support pieces. Now I want to glue these inside. You can arrange them however you would like. I think this is a pretty good arrangement. They're just there to support your house so that it doesn't kind of cave in on the base. So I'm just going to put some glue on all of these and glue them in here just like this. Now I can go ahead and cover all of these tabs and the little square supports inside with glue. I want to get pretty close to the edge and the corners with my glue on these tabs. Maybe just a nice little ring on here. And then put the bottom of your base in place. Next, I'm going to take the main piece of the house that we put together and stand it upside down, and then glue our bottom into place, which looks like this. So to do that, I will just anchor it in place with one large tab first. Once it starts to take hold, I'll carefully flip my house over, push down from the inside. Then I'll bend it out of the way and cover the rest of these tabs with some glue. And bend it over and line it up nicely as I press those tabs into place. Then once it takes hold, I'll flip it over and press down from the inside onto those tabs. Next, I'm going to take my porch that we put together with the columns, and I'm going to cover the inside with glue. And then I'll put a dot of glue on top of each column as well. Then I want to put it up against my house so that the bottom of the porch is flush with the bottom of the house. I'm going to set it down. Make sure it's nice and tight, and that each little column is lining up where it's supposed to be. So I will carefully adjust the top so that it meets the top of the columns, especially on the corners where it's more obvious. And you want to keep it nice and even and flush together. So the most important thing is that the bottoms are both even and that it's a nice tight fit, and then you can always adjust the columns later if they're not lining up exactly the way you would like, or if you need to add some more glue inside. So I'm pressing down from the inside over here on top of this column so that that glue really takes hold, kind of adjusting some of them a little bit as it takes hold. Same over here and same back here. Next, we can take our trim pieces that look like this and glue them onto the front around the porch. This one goes here. You just want to center it nicely. It kind of finishes it off and adds some cute detail. Then the piece that looks like this, it's just straight on both sides, goes on the front. Then this other long piece that looks like this goes right here. Then this little small piece like this goes right here. And finally, the piece that looks like this is going to go right here. Next, we can turn it over and put glue all over the bottom here. And carefully center it on the base that we created. Finally, on the top of this, I'm going to make sure that the tabs are not going down. You want them to be slightly up a little bit. And then cover them with glue. And then go ahead and take this large piece that we put together and carefully center that right on top where we just put all the glue. And you want the tower to line up, so you want the corners of it to be straight up and down from here down to here, so that it's nice and even lines going down. So just center it as best you can and hold on to it for a little while as it takes hold and dries. Next, we can put some of this trim in place. I've got this piece that looks like this. I'll put some glue on these little triangle shaped tabs, bend it over, and then put some glue on these back tabs and the bottom. And glue that right onto the front. Then we can take these similar looking pieces and they get glued together like this. Then you can put a line of glue along the bottom 2 tabs and carefully put it right on this spot on your house. Next, we've got 3 pieces that look like this. And these are going to get glued right here. Then the next one has 3 sections. And you want to put glue on those bottom tabs and glue that right here. And then finally this longer one with 2 sections. You can put glue on the bottom side of it and glue that into place right here. Next, I've got 2 pieces that look like this. I'm going to put glue on the side tab, bend that around, and then put some glue on the bottom of it and fold the bottom flap over. And do the same thing for the other one. Put some glue on the bottom and then carefully wiggle it into place through both of these little square holes. And then we've got this piece like this, which you can glue together just like this with a dot of glue, a little line of glue in the center, so that it's centered and pretty much flush on the bottom there with that little arch. And then fold these 2 parts over with some glue on the bottom and glue that right onto your arch. Next we can put together our little iron gate, and that goes together like this. So put some glue on this end part. Creating a little cube-shaped gate. Then you can cover the bottom of it with glue. And put that right centered on the top of your house. Then you can cover this little square with some glue and drop that down inside what you just glued on. Then the other iron piece is made up of 3 pieces. So we'll glue them together side to side like this. And close it up. Then you can cover the bottom of it with glue and center that on the other part of your roof. Then you can take this final little rectangle, cover that with glue, and drop that down into the center of what you just glued on. Finally, for our little corner decorations, they look like this, and you want to fold it like this with these pieces coming down, and put a little bit of glue on these and glue them down. Then you can put a dot of glue at the end and a dot of glue on each of these little tabs. And bend that around like so. So this is kind of a small part. If you find this too tedious and it takes the fun out of it for you, you can just skip these. It does look really cute with them on there, but it's not worth it if it's too tiny for you to work with. So go ahead and make all of those and then put them on your house like so. So there's one in the back here. There's 2 here, as well as 2 and 2. Then there's also 2 here and 1 back here. So to put them on, you just want to put a line of glue along the back and along the top, and carefully put that into place. So last but not least, for these trim pieces, these are little double layer pieces that go around here. So they're doubled up. I did rub an ink pad around the edges of mine. It took a little bit more time, but up here at the very top, it's just a single layer going all the way around, and then double layer, and it starts 1, 2, 3, 4 through 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So the way that these are laid out, there's a number that your machine will have cut on the bottom layer, as well as either a circle or a little square. So that's just to help you line it up. So the largest ones go on the bottom. So here's number 1 with a square cut out of it, and this will get glued right on top of it. Then here's number 2 with the square cut out of it with a piece above it. So you'll glue one on top of the other. And if you keep them in order, it's kind of helpful. So here's the 3 with the square, the piece above it gets glued onto it. And then piece number 4 with the square, piece number 5 with the square, piece number 6 with the square, piece number 7 with the square. So you want to keep those in order just to help you glue them on if possible. If not, that's okay. You can match them up. It's just not as easy. So you just want to glue each of these to create this little double layer trim. So it takes a little more time, but it really does add a nice touch to your house. So go ahead and glue these all together, top and bottom. So now I'm going to take piece number 1 with the square here, and that's going to get glued right here on my house. Then number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So go ahead and glue those down. Next, you can do the same thing on the next level up using these pieces which have a circle cut out of them. So here's 1 with the circle, and then 2 with the circle, 3 with the circle, 4 with the circle, 5, 6, and 7. So go ahead and glue those together, top and bottom, just like we did before. And these are going to go on this second level here. Just the same as before, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So here's my final piece number 7 on this level of the house for the trim. And now for the very top layer, it's kind of a process of elimination where each one goes, but you can tell this one is going to go right on the front. And then you just want to put the other 6 of these at that same level by matching them up the way that they fit on there. So there you have it. That's how Magnolia Manor goes together. I hope you have a great time making it, picking out your papers, inking, embossing, all that fun crafty stuff. If you make one, you will definitely have to share a picture on the SVG Cuts Facebook wall, or however you like to share. We always love to see, and so do the rest of our crafty friends. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time, and happy crafting.